What is up, boyos? I'm back again to talk about the box office. Last week we were talking about how Suicide Squad underperformed at its opening weekend and the potential reasons for that. I made a list of reasons. Here, I could pull those up. So last week we talked about these different reasons that Suicide Squad underperformed, right? COVID, Delta variant, of course, is what everyone is saying, which of course that's been affecting everything at the box office. Everything would be performing better. HBO Max is a big one that everyone's been talking about. The fact that it's rated R, bad taste from original, and then I brought up the fact that it's the personal finance part of it, the fact that a lot of people aren't spending their money. It's kind of a carryover of COVID and the Delta variant. The fact that, the economy's kind of in a bad spot right now. Well, we're in the second week now, and we've got another movie that just came out, right? Free Guy just came out, and we could take a look at Free Guy's box office here. Let's scroll on down. Opening weekend, $28 million. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so here's why it's crazy. Suicide Squad, I've got it here, $26 million. It made more than the Suicide Squad. And it does have the factor of it not being rated R. But the thing that's crazy about Free Guy is this is not a known property. This is an original property. No one's heard of it before. Unlike the Suicide Squad, which has DC and stuff going for it. But then we get into the box office in general. Free Guy at number 1 with $28 million. Don't Breathe 2 at number 2. The Suicide Squad isn't even here. It's not even at number 2. Jungle Cruise with $9 million. It's not even at number 3. Number 4 is Respect at $8 million. This is a movie I don't even know. I've never even heard of this. Suicide Squad's not even at number 4. And at number 5 is The Suicide Squad at number 7. I thought for sure The Suicide Squad might have some staying power. But it's this number right here. 71%. So if we go here, opening weekend it made $26 million. In its second weekend it made $7 million. That is a 71% drop. I don't think there's any other way to slice it. This is HBO Max. There's no other way to look at it. Because we can look at a few different factors and come to that conclusion. 1, we've got Black Widow. Black Widow had a pretty substantial drop too, 67%. And people were scared about this. People were like, what the hell? That's a huge, huge drop. But it had a much bigger opening weekend and a pretty sizable second weekend still. But 67, that's huge. But with Suicide Squad, it's 71% drop. The Jungle Cruise, that had a much more normal second weekend with 54%. And I know you may be saying to yourself, hey, Jungle Cruise and Black Widow both are on Disney Plus. And you're correct. They both are on Disney Plus. The difference between the Suicide Squad being on HBO Max and these movies being on Disney Plus is they're on Disney Plus Access. So you have to pay an additional $30 to purchase these movies. Jungle Cruise, Black Widow. Suicide Squad, if you have HBO, you can just watch it. Right? And I think that just killed its second weekend. And I don't think there's any other way to look at it, right? Like, but the real test, I think, is going to be with Free Guy. If we go back to Free Guy had a pretty successful opening weekend. And it's a 20th Century Studios, which is Disney, okay? And the difference between this movie, Jungle Cruise, and Black Widow is the fact that this is going to be in theaters only. So the real test is going to be next weekend to see how well this performs in its second weekend. And I think these studios might start seeing, hey, maybe we start keeping these babies in theaters. Now, I'm a bit conflicted on it, if I'm being honest with you guys. I think in normal circumstances, I would be fully behind the theaters, theatrical releases only, right? That would be, I think, what my stance would be. And I think we're going to see from Free Guy that that's the more profitable option for the studios as well. I think the big thing, though, is I do think, like, COVID and the Delta variant are a real thing. So it depends on what these numbers look like. Because I do understand why you would release a movie on a streaming service right now. But next year, hopefully next year, I think they should really go back to theaters. And I think this is the true test that the market isn't changing. We're just in a weird time. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see. The other interesting stat here to look at is Free Guy's opening weekend, right? On Friday, it got 10 million, and it had a 0.8% drop on Saturday, and a 27% drop on Sunday. But then if you go to Suicide Squad, 12 million on Friday, a 32% drop on Saturday, and a 27% drop on Sunday. So the Sunday is the same, but this 32% on Saturday, this 0.8% on Free Guy, that's substantial. Let's take a look at Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise, an 8% drop to Saturday from Friday, with a 25%. So that's not bad. You know, that's not bad at all. But Black Widow had a 41% drop from Friday to Saturday. So, no matter how you slice it, though, Free Guy, theaters only, because I think the reason for that is because if you have a movie in theaters only, people are going to go to the theater to see it. And repeat business is a thing as well. And you're like, hey, I saw this movie on Friday. Maybe I bring my friend to see it. Suicide Squad, I've seen it twice. And first time I saw it in theaters. And second time I just watched it on HBO Max. I think in normal circumstances, I would have been like, hey, I want to see it again with a friend, you know? And that's repeat business. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like me. And I'm sure that's why we see this huge 71% drop in its second weekend. So this is a bit of a rambly video. I don't think the real proof is in the pudding moment comes until next week. We have to see with Free Guy. We've got a couple movies coming out this weekend that are gonna be potential contenders for the top 5, potentially knocking Suicide Squad out of the top 5 with The Protege, which is this new movie with Michael Keaton and Sam Jackson, Maggie Q, coming out this weekend, which looks really good. We've also got that Hugh Jackman movie coming out. It's called Reminiscence. That's coming out this weekend. And this is an HBO Max movie as well. So we'll see with this. I don't imagine Reminiscence is going to do huge numbers, but The Protege, I imagine, will do okay numbers. But we'll really have to see. So, like I said, I'll report on it next week. I'll be back next week with the box office shit to see what really happened with Free Guy, because these numbers are interesting, especially this second day. I think this is pretty telling in and of itself. So sorry if this video is a bit tangential. We've got a lot of content on the channel. I'd hope you subscribe, press the bell. We've got podcasts. We've got random videos. Make sure you follow us over on twitch.tv/lonercast as well. We do some of our podcasts live over there. I would greatly appreciate if you check that out. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Also, follow me on Twitter. @emergencypizza_ is my Twitter. Bye, guys.